Welcome and thank you for joining me, Alyssa Arundell, for your June 2020 tarot card reading. If you haven't already and you'd like to check out your free 3-card tarot spread, you can do so in the description box beneath this video. These are not generic readings. Every outcome is written for the tense that it is made for. So you get real clear insights into your own situation absolutely for free. And please, I'd be honored if you pressed the subscribe button and notification bell so that you get alerted every time Patrick and I drop a new video. But without further ado, let's get into our reading for June 2020. Hello Libra, and welcome to your June 2020 tarot card reading. We actually dropped a card there, so I'm going to use this as your present situation card. This is the Lovers, so it could be that a romantic situation is on your mind in some way. But in original tarot, this was known as Choice. So it could be that you're weighing up some decisions this month. It could be that you really are the sign of balance. And so I think perhaps you're going to have to play devil's advocate this month. Perhaps you're going to have to be the guy in the middle that says, hold on, let's hear both sides of this story. So let's see what is blocking you, Libra. Okay, we have the 5 of Wands. This is arguments, disputes. It's nothing that can't be solved. This is often arguments between siblings, or, if you have children, they could be arguing, Again, like we said, it's like you're gonna maybe have to be the referee in some way. I think it's important though this month that you don't take sides, especially if it doesn't involve you directly. Like if you've been dragged into this in some way, I think it's really important that you are those scales of justice and you just hear and you just facilitate conversations rather than imposing your own view, because I think otherwise you could potentially end up in a bit of hot water when you're only trying to help. So that's always annoying when that happens. So let's see what is the foundation. Okay, the Emperor. This is you. This is you being like, I have the knowledge, I'm ordered, I'm structured, I'm disciplined. This is like a parent, again, like cooling off period, like taking charge of the household, being authoritative but fair. And actually, I think you're going to be really respected this month for these qualities that you have. I think people are going to really look at you and think, wow, when all that kicked off, this person was the person that really was the calm in the storm. So hats off to you, Libra, for that. Now, your past situation here is the 4 of Cups. This can be a card of apathy. It can be a card of just not taking action. It's kind of like those situations where you sit down after a long day and you need to do something, but you just can't bring yourself to move, or you just can't bring yourself to get up. It's you don't feel completely burnt out, but you just can't be bothered. And I feel like perhaps there's been a bit of that in the past where it's like, I really tried to do my best and what I have done hasn't quite worked out, and I'm just going to sit here now. The other side to this card is kind of like, not seeing the opportunities right in front of you. Perhaps you feel like you've missed some opportunities in the past and you're maybe feeling a bit regretful, but please, Libra, know that this sounds cliche, but if it was meant to happen, I really truly believe that the flags would have been put in your way for you to take that U-turn. Sometimes things in our lives don't pan out the way we thought they would, and that is actually okay. That is actually the path we were supposed to take all along. So let's see what spiritually crowns you here, Libra. Right, you have the 3 of Pentacles. This is a card of the Mason and the apprentices. It's a card of teamwork, building things together, learning, education, being an apprentice in some way, or perhaps you're the leader teaching. So this is beautiful because it's like passing on your knowledge to people, but at the same time continuing to learn. So I think this is particularly to do with your spiritual growth. And it ties in nicely with the Emperor because it kind of takes a bit of the coldness you can sometimes have away. And, you know, you have him directly opposite. So it's like you're structured, you're disciplined, you're ordered, but you're also have this kindly way of sharing the knowledge that you have. So your immediate future, Libra, we have the King of Pentacles. If this is a person in your life, it is usually someone who's a male, who can maybe have some material success and maybe help you in some way, either helping you out financially or helping you with some business ideas. If this doesn't represent a person in your life, it's about getting grounded in terms of your material, monetary life, and just, again, being very grown up. I feel like this is a month where, Libra, you're going to be like the grown up amongst people that are kind of losing their heads and maybe acting a bit like children. You're actually going to be the one that's mature and is like, you know, I have some views and opinions on this. Would you like to hear them? So that kind of energy. So let's have a look at your state of mind, because it's all very well and good being the grown-up, but we all need to release our inner child as well. And sometimes it's nice to have someone else take care of us. So your state of mind here is judgment. Perhaps you feel judged in some way. Like, Libra, do you feel as though your beliefs in some way are being judged, or your, you know, your appearance in some way, or your the way you do things? You might have a totally different view on how to get things done, and you might feel like other people aren't quite on board, and that can be frustrating. If this isn't the case, this can really represent, actually in a positive sense, there being an opening in dialogue, an opening in seeing the truth. This is like, if we think about the stories of Judgment Day, you know, some of us can get hung up on this fear of, oh, well, are we going to be condemned? But the switch side to the idea of this Judgment Day is that actually we rise in some way, and that we realize ourselves in some way. So this can be transformational spiritually, and even in a physical way. It's realizing deep truths about ourselves and being okay with them, accepting them. Now let's have a look at your outside influences this month, Libra. Okay, right. You got the Eight of Wands here. I feel like, as an outside influence card, like people pulling you, people trying to like get you to go one way. It's very fast-paced card, this. It's very like go, go, go. And the reason I'm hesitant with it is because the rest of your spread is very much about you going at your own pace, you setting the tone, you setting the rules. But then this outside influence is trying to like pull you away from that. So it could be just a little heads up that someone might try and pull you off course a little bit. Or it could be that things like outside things call for your attention and you're split in between a lot of different situations. I get the feeling that this is more towards the middle of the month. Let's have a look at your hopes and fears here. Right. This is interesting for a hope and fear because you've got the Six of Cups. This is very much a card of, again, nostalgia. This is very much a card of thinking about the past. You know, this is like thinking about your childhood, thinking about maybe your parents or grandparents or times gone by. It can also be people from your past making a reappearance in your life. So this could be an old flame. This could be friends getting in touch with you. And you know, sometimes that can be joyful, and sometimes it can give us a bit of a jolt, and we might feel uncomfortable about it, because as we all go through lives, Libra, you know, we change, we go through these milestones and we become different people. And maybe you don't necessarily want people from your past poking around, you know, maybe you want the past to stay in the past. So that's where it can be a fear, but as a hope, it could just be really nice sense of nostalgia, maybe going through some old family photos, or, you know, something that gives you a sense of peace and a sense of joy. And let's see what your outcome for this month is, Libra. Your outcome here. Wow, you got the Queen of Swords. This is how you're going to be seen, I feel. The Queen of Swords, she can come across as quite steely, quite cold, but she is utterly respected, and people really value her opinion, really trust her insights, really trust her business ideas, really trust her logic. And once you get to know the Queen, you know, she's very smart, very quick-witted, very sharp, and very on the ball. And I think, Libra, this is how people are going to see you, particularly by the end of this month. I think your negotiation skills this month are going to be so flying, and I think you might even surprise yourself with how good you are at keeping the peace, perhaps even getting that deal that you want. So this could be actually a great month of really realizing your inner worth. Thank you so much for joining me here this month. I really do appreciate you spending your time with me. If you would like to book a one-to-one session with me, I will leave that information in the description box. You can also order your digital tarot card reading, which is emailed directly to you. So if you want to check that out, also prices are very affordable. I'll leave that in the description box too. But until we speak again the next time, I'm wishing you lots of peace and stay safe. Warm wishes, Alyssa.